You know, guys, sometimes things happen where two events are just too unusual, too interconnected, too significant to not have a greater meaning. And that happened recently with Vladimir Putin. Let's go back. I'll explain. I've always tried to inform people that Vladimir Putin and Joseph Stalin are very much alike. They are more alike each other than any two leaders in Russian history. In fact, Vladimir Putin wants people to believe that Stalin was a good guy. This is the ideology they teach in Russian history textbooks. I've seen them. That Stalin was actually a great leader and that the people were very sad in Russia when he died. And that it's great to have a strong leader like that. And the reason Putin wants people to view Stalin in a positive light, rehabilitate his image, is because Putin wants people to just accept having a strong man and not having elections, and then the people can just live their life and like go about like drones and people who are just lemmings and like lost in the wind, not worrying about things like elections or democratic processes or accountability or lack of corruption. It's convenient for him, and he's also probably a sick, twisted motherfucker who really does think some of these things about Putin, which are absolutely psychotic. Now, I did a video about a 23-year-old ballerina called Ballerina in a Mass Grave about a week ago. And the point of this was to show that the current suffering that's being inflicted on the Ukrainian people by Vladimir Putin is in fact not some separate event that's distinct by, history, purpose, and character, but is in fact unitary with a long line of suffering that has occurred at the hands of the Russian government, the Russian military, over the 80 or so years of Russian occupation and now. Russia has been inflicting pain upon the people of that great, powerful Ukrainian country for approximately 100 years, pretty consistently. So when I talked about that video, it was poignant because it's a 23-year-old ballerina abducted by the NKVD, Stalin's secret police, tortured for a week. And just like many other Ukrainians, thousands, millions who were either starved or shot in the head by the NKVD or killed in some other way, her story was something that stuck out to me. She was shot in the back of the head at midnight because she would not admit to being a spy for Poland, because she wasn't. It's ridiculous. And then she was taken along with 40 other Ukrainians they shot and killed that night and thrown into a mass grave outside the city outskirts with 150,000 other innocent Ukrainians. It was also important for me to try to get across the scope and the specter and the flavor for the magnitude of suffering and evil that occurred both under Stalin and that is continuing under Vladimir Putin, that we need to stop this from happening in this world. We need to evolve as a species at some point where this shit just doesn't occur anymore, no matter the cost it takes to stop it. Well, you know what happened the other day? Well, it was about 2 days ago. Something very poignant, very significant, that just proves again, Stalin, Putin, same thing, suffering throughout these time periods, unitary, singular, the same. Thus triggering our massive obligations to do something about it. Powerfully so. He arrested Ksenia Karelina. Again, she's a Russian-American dual citizen. She is in her 20s, and she is actually about 33-year-old. No, she's 33 years old. Beautiful girl, ballerina, lives in Los Angeles. Became an American citizen about 5 years ago, and she was in Russia just visiting her parents briefly. Well, she was arrested for treason, and she's facing a 20 to 25-year sentence, which she will definitely get because there is no justice system in Russia. It's just all a sham. It's like a troika, like a Stalin show trial. Because this is her crime, she gave $50 to the Ukrainians on the day that the invasion started. That's it. That's her crime. So whether it's taking a ballerina and pulling her out of her parents' home and putting her into the worst, most violent prison system in the world, in Russia, or whether it's barbarically murdering a ballerina in 1937. Stalin to Putin, the same shit. And I just wanted to bring that up so people understand what the fuck we're dealing with. The victims cry out for justice. From the mass graves, you can hear their voices echo. Trust me, when you're in Ukraine and you're in the woods, you know that significant bad things have happened. And it's our obligations as people in the most prosperous country on earth in the history of this entire, mankind on this planet, have an obligation to do something about that and to stop it because we can. Thanks, everybody. Have a beautiful day.